Feels like 2022 all over again.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh my goodness. Winnipeg Blue Bombers defeat Nathan Rourke and the BC Lions by a score of 20-11. And BC has got some fraudulent activities going on. Now, I'm going to first set off by saying I think Nathan Rourke probably recovers from this and probably does fine. I don't know if he goes amazing, but does fine. I predicted that Nathan Rourke would not go back in and immediately start throwing 300-400. I thought he'd go 240, 250. I could have never guessed he would have played this bad. Never guessed. And again, I know there's a lot of other things that didn't work for BC tonight. And I'm not going to lie. It's just one of those things where it's like, I'm not going to lie. As a Bombers fan, how does this feels freaking awesome. Winnipeg now has the tiebreaker against Calgary and BC. Winnipeg, if they play half decent, like that playoff spot can be theirs. They just got to play half decent. Still have a losing record. Still not even a winning record. BC drops their fourth consecutive game. Nathan Rourke, 8 completions, 25 attempts, 126 yards. Doesn't even hit 150. An average of only 5 yards per throw. 0 touchdowns. 2 picks. 1 for Nichols, 1 for Terrell Ford. I can't even believe, and then funny enough, the thing that is so funny about this is that Bryce goes in and throws 6%. Oh my God. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to start off, BC. I feel bad for you. Seriously, this is just all falling apart. And yeah. They thought we were down and out. I'm not just talking BC. I'm talking the league. They thought we were down and out. They thought Caleros is washed. The Bombers are done. The dominance, where is it? It's gone. The dynasty is over. No. I've been saying this for years. And it continues. The dynasty is not over. It is delayed. And in my opinion, it is being delayed long enough. I want that Grey Cup. I do. And this team is capable of it. That defense. Oh my gosh. Let me take a look at something. So BC we give up 11 points to BC. Last week, bye week. Week before, absolute shutout. Big donut over there. 0 points BC. We give up 16 in a loss. Then we give up 19. We give up then 37 points in a win. Week 6 was the last time Winnipeg gave up over 20 or more points. Week 6. This was week 11. With only one bye week in there. Winnipeg's Jordan Younger. I had my questions about Jordan Younger at the start of the season. I really wasn't sure, but it was one of those things where I said, you know what? I'm not going to make my assumptions too early because, even though I don't think Jordan Younger is doing a very good job, no one's doing a good job. So it's not a fair assessment. And also that defensive line was just completely destroyed halfway to hell. Yeah, that's not a problem anymore. Now, let's get right into this game. Like 4 minutes in. Kenny Lawler is back. Celestion Haba is back. Devin Adams goes down to the practice roster along with Cody Case, Lucky Whitehead at returner. And then we have Woods with Jake Thomas, with Haba and Jefferson as our defensive line. And Nathan Rourke makes his return to the CFL. Everyone was talking about it. BC for the Grey Cup. They're winning it. How could they possibly not? They're paying him $250,000 for only 9 games. Then they're paying like $750 next year and then like $830 in the year after. What are they going to do? They have 2 fantastic quarterbacks with over $1 million lined up with them for the next 2 years. Oh, BC's got to figure that out because, man, if they don't turn this around real quick with Nathan Rourke, this is problematic. Nathan Rourke comes back when the Lions are on a losing skid and they desperately need life in this franchise, and they get that excitement for this game. Just to have it all squandered. Seriously, there was absolutely nothing if you're BC, is there anything you can be happy about in this game? Seriously, I don't know. But that is the pregame first quarter. BC gets a few first downs, and then they are forced to punt. They then punt. Winnipeg then drives the field for a bit. BC would take a rushing the passer penalty. Bombers continue down the field, and then there would be a touchdown for Nick Dembski. Conversion is good, 7-0 Winnipeg. Now, one thing I do want to mention, thank you all to those who came out for the live stream tonight. We had our live stream, Winnipeg versus BC, over on Canadian Football Central. If you have not, make sure you guys subscribe to Canadian Football Central. Lots of good football CFL content coming out on that platform. We had almost 700 viewers, 13 likes. I'm just looking at the analytics right now. So thank you to all the wonderful people who came out to the live stream. It was a great time. So make sure you guys come up for whenever those next ones are. We'll post them on all our socials. You'll see it go up on the channel. So if you want to make sure you get the little notification, hit the little notification bell over on Canadian Football Central. Also do it on the Nolan Hockey Podcast. We post a lot of stuff over here, lots of good stuff. So make sure you do that, like and subscribe. So Bombers get the touchdown. Conversion's good. 7-0 Winnipeg. Bombers continue a little bit. BC would then push the field once again after the Bombers touchdown. They'd be forced to punt. They would go back and forth a little bit, and then Willie Jefferson go in, get a beautiful sack, swings that arm around, try and hit that ball loose. Nathan Rourke is able to hold on to it, gets a nice sack though. Passing game's going well. First score, 7-0 Winnipeg. Winnipeg now, this would then at this point in time be their 5th consecutive quarter shutting out the BC Lions, with 4 consecutive quarters in their last game, of course, the entire game. Second quarter, Bombers would then punt. Looks like they're going to actually recover this punt. However, they don't, as BC is ruled down by contact. William Stanback then gets going for the BC Lions. He's running the field. And then Nichols would get a pick. Nathan Rourke, looking for that first touchdown pass, looking to push it down the field, throws himself his first pick of the 2024 CFL season. And it would not be his last. But Nichols with a very, very good interception. Good job on him. Our secondary was awesome tonight. Was very happy with them. Just defense, just absolute shut down zone defense. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Bombers push the field. Castillo then goes for a 42-yard field goal. Hits the uprights. Doesn't get this. I don't know if maybe he's just used to having wind and he kicks better in wind and he's just not used to having a dome. Not able to get that wind behind him. I don't know what it is, but Castillo, very, very unusual. Does not get the field goal on that. Misses as he hits the uprights on 42 yards. So still 7-0 Winnipeg. BC then pushes the field and takes a holding penalty. It goes back and forth a little bit. And then Kenny Lawler would go offside for Winnipeg in short yardage. Winnipeg forced to punt. Not going to lie, really, really not happy with Lawler on this play. Lawler is out wide. This is not a throwing play. There's no reason that him, of all people, should be offside. As Lawler has nothing to do with this play. He really doesn't have to do anything. So just not happy with that, but it is what it is. I'm going to go back and forth just a little bit more. And then Terrell Ford would get himself a pick. And it looked like it was going to be a pick six. However, there'd be a holding on the Bombers. However, this is after the interception. So the Bombers would get possession, wouldn't get the pick six, unfortunately. Really was hoping for that. However, they would then kick a field goal, making the 38-yarder. Sergio Castillo hits it. 10-0 Winnipeg going into halftime. Around halfway through the second quarter, Big Hill would get a little roughed up on a play and just kind of favoring one leg. Wasn't doing perfect. And then during halftime, it would be announced that Big Hill would be out for the rest of the game. So hopefully Big Hill is not too badly hurt, and whatever it is, he's able to resolve before the next game, but it is what it is. Then it'd be the third quarter. There'd be a good pass for Ontario Wilson to start this quarter. Ontario Wilson, just good, consistent game so far. Was overall relatively pleased with him. The Bombers would then push. Strevler goes out for it on third down. He trips on Stanley Bryant's leg, though, and is not able to get it. A lot of people were all over the place like, oh, Winnipeg should have gone for it. Oh, this, oh, that. He tripped on a lineman's leg. It's one of those things. BC doesn't stop Strevler that play. Stanley Bryant and Streveler stopped Streveler that play. That was just Winnipeg making a mistake. Again, it's one of those things. Everyone's saying that with the benefit of hindsight. There was a few times in this game where BC went for it on an equally risky play. It worked out for them, and everyone was praising the ears of the coaches. So it's one of those things. Just can't think too far into it. Rourke is now trying to get this ball going, and he's just completely off. I don't even know what it is. Like, he's throwing to Justin McInnes and for Catoy and Hollins and Hatcher, and he's just, some of these throws, like, this was like Nick Arbuckle kind of stuff, like just like 7 feet over the guy's head, like some Jake Mayer shit. Like, I don't know what was going on with Rourke today. Seriously, there was a few throws where they were so far in front of him. They were like 12 feet in front of these guys. Like they're 2 full body lengths away from, like, not even remotely close. I'm dumbfounded by how far it was off. I don't know if maybe Nathan Rourke is just used to the NFL size football, because again, NFL size football is a little bit smaller than the CFL, a bit of a bulkier ball. I don't know if he's just not used to it, but he struggled with it today. It just was not. Rourke just could not get it going. And I was shocked. I'm not going to lie. Wilson then continues. More catches, solid game for him. And then there'd be a big gain for Nick Dembski. And the Bombers able to push the field. They keep going down. And then Chris Streveler with the touchdown. Bombers get their second touchdown of the game. Conversion is good. 17-0 Winnipeg. Then BC would then push it a bit. And then Stambach actually fumbles the ball. Refs don't see it, so Coach Mike O'Shea challenges. However, there's a strange situation here where Mike O'Shea, he's given an additional challenge info, and the challenge is like awarded back to him, or he's able to revoke it, or whatever it was. He gets it back. And it's BC football. Now, there's a few things here. Number one, I have no idea what that rule is. So I'm not going to pretend to say that, oh, he can do that. Oh, he can't do that. I don't know. I legitimately just don't know about that rule. So I'll have to look into it. If anyone has a link or anything in the comment section down below where I can find that sort of stuff, would love to hear it. If there's like a section of the CFL rule book, and like the article number, if you can give that'd be fantastic. I have no idea, or I just don't know. However, I'm not going to lie. I don't think Stanback has it. He drops that ball, and I am positive that Shane Gauthier gets on top of that. As he swoops in on the camera shot, you see him go, and the ball disappears under Shane Gauthier. However, the rule that BC's got possession, it is what it is. We got to deal with that. That's the way it goes. Sometimes you get ref calls going your way. Sometimes you get them just not going your way. And so I, again, disagree, but it's one of those things where you good teams play through that. You can't just expect everything to go your way. It just doesn't. And the command center, a lot of people have tons of mistrust for the command center now. Just with these past few weeks and some of the terrible calls they've made against anyone. Seriously, it's not consistently helping one team, whether it's Winnipeg, but whether it's Saskatchewan, whether it's Ottawa. That game was such a mess in terms of the command center. Whether it was against Montreal or against, it was just all over the place. So it is what it is. That is what we got to deal with. Play continues though. Big catch for Hollins to get BC into striking distance, and then BC goes for the touchdown in the third quarter. But McInnes is out of bounds. He's lands out of bounds, and so no touchdown for the Lions. However, they still got 2 more shots at it. They go to the fourth quarter. Rourke then gets tackled after scrambling, so I'm thinking they're going to have to kick for this one. Sean White hits a 23-yard field goal and is now 17-3 Winnipeg. BC gets their first lick of points in their 2 games against Winnipeg this year. Yikes. Fourth quarter of the second game, not where you want to be starting that if you're the BC Lions. And I think it was Sean White who then went for 46 consecutive kicks on this. Again, it's one of those things, he's just been absolute money for the BC Lions. However, I will say I think they're protecting that record, or protecting that streak in the sense of that it would be like a 55-yard kick and they won't attempt it because it's one of those things where could Sean White hit that? He might be able to. But it looks like BC's really concerned about keeping that streak alive. That was not really a pointer that I had from this game, just something I'd noticed about their other game. I think it was their game against Edmonton where I noticed that, where it seemed like they were kind of trying to protect that streak, which I get it, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's like, if you can kick from 55, kick from 55. At the end of the day, misses it. That doesn't, like, you got to do what's best for the team. But it is what it is. That's a complaint about the Elks-Lions game from last week. So that's irrelevant. Caleros would then start pushing on the drive, and unfortunately, he throws a pick. Lee here with the interception for the BC Lions. Caleros' first pick of the night. And so I think Caleros would go, he'd go for one, one touchdown, a 22-yard pass for Nick Dembski, but then he'd also throw that pick. And then Garbutt would then get the sack. And they're able to stop the Lions. Lions trying to go for it, can't quite get it. They're forced to punt. And then Winnipeg gets going, and Brady Oliveira with some good runs. I was very, very happy to see it. Castillo hits the 43-yard field goal. 20-3 Winnipeg. BC pushes the field. And then Leon Hatcher drops the ball in the end zone. And after review, it is first down Winnipeg. BC went for a few attempts to get into that end zone. Third down, they go for it. And he's just not able to hold on to that ball. Looks like he gets it. The ball is in the hands, in the air, puts it onto his chest, kind of bobbling around a little bit. Second he hits the ground, that ball comes out. So command center rules that that's an incomplete pass. I'm not going to lie, I'm really on the fence. I have no idea if that's an incomplete pass or not. It's one of those things where it's like I see both sides to it in the sense of that that ball's not really moving around a lot when he has it against his chest and his foot touches the ground. But then at the same time, there is some movement. And also the second he hits the ground, that ball just explodes right over his, like he's got no control over it whatsoever at that point. So I could see either way. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be upset with the command center about it. It is what it is, though. He's not able to get it. Again, it's one of those things. Calls go Winnipeg's way, calls go BC's way. That's just... whether it's bad command center or not, it's going to go both ways, and that is just the way it is. They're not able to get it, though. Winnipeg now running the ball, and they're just killing this clock. I absolutely, I am loving it. Loving it. And good amount of playing time as well for Johnny Augustine. Not going to lie, I was saying this, but Lucky Whitehead on that jet sweep. I can't remember if I was saying it in one of the Bombers videos or Canadian Football Central. I was saying that Lucky Whitehead, he's got that decent amount of speed. I'd love to see us attempt it with that jet sweep that he normally has Nick Dembski do. Not going to lie, buck sweep, not bucks. Yeah, we can start calling it the buck sweep with how much we're doing it. But the jet sweep with Lucky Whitehead, prefer it to Nick Dembski. Seriously, Lucky Whitehead on the jet sweep was fantastic tonight. And it suits his running style a bit more as a returner, being able to juke and move around guys. I think it works a lot better with Lucky Whitehead, and was very, very happy with Lucky being able to do that. And Winnipeg would then punt it as BC finally able to get them a bit of a stop. And Chase Bryce goes in. And at this point, I'm thinking, wow, this game is done. Like, it was one of those things where I was just waiting for that time for Nathan Rourke to just activate and just like throw like 2 touchdown passes, and BC's all of a sudden back into the game and this and that, and Bomber fans are panicking. There was none of that. Chase Bryce goes in. BC pushes. I said, wow, Bryce was playing better than Rourke. O'Shea icing the offense. Love it. Fans booing him, which was really funny in the sense of BC. So I don't blame the secondary on this. Essentially, the secondary, they're just trying to not give up that long ball. They eventually take a pass interference, which essentially is equivalent to giving that up. But every time they do this, they're just killing more and more clock. This defense is trying to run that clock down. And at the end of the day, it's one of those things. They don't care if they give up 5 points, 10 points, whatever it is. Just don't give up. Just don't give up the game. Win the game. That's all that matters. And that's the way to do it. Jordan Younger, good defensive play call in there. O'Shea, though, with just a hilarious timeout call. BC's ready to run the ball, and they're right before the play starts. O'Shea calls a timeout just to screw with BC, just to get in their heads a little bit more. At the last second, calls a timeout. BC fans not happy with Mike O'Shea, and they are laying into him, just booing him like crazy. Not gonna lie, as a Bomber fan, was getting a chuckle out of that. I thought that was really funny. BC would then go grab themselves a touchdown, but it's one of those things where at this point I could not care less. There's 2 seconds left on the clock. They actually go for a 2-point conversion, and Chase Bryce, 2-point conversion, hits it, And that is game. They go for the kickoff, and we just take a knee and end this up. 20-11 victory. Winnipeg over BC. Both games in Winnipeg's favor. And this is now 100 wins for General Manager Kyle Walters. 100 wins for him. 100 wins for Coach Mike O'Shea. Congratulations to him. And 700 franchise wins for yours truly, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. 700 wins. Now, a few other things to note that happened in this game. Also, really, really funny situation where Flintloft punts it and it hits the Jumbotron in BC Places. Of course, they have a hanging Jumbotron there. And I'm trying to remember exactly what the official says. I'm trying to remember here. Actually, let me go to CFL. As it was really funny. Ben Major has said something along the lines of, or like that was really strange, or let's see here. What was it? We'll do I'm just gonna look at it right now. What is it? Something like this.
Right into the Jumbotron here at BC Place.
Wait.
The kick hit the scoreboard, which is pretty odd. We're going to redo everything. We'll redo the play.
The kick hit the scoreboard, which is pretty odd. We're going to redo the play, which is just, that's priceless. I'm not going to lie. That I got a big laugh out of that. And man, I can't believe what I saw. It's one of those things. I know there's going to be a lot of people really, really upset over the thumbnail. Deal with it. Like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's a thumbnail. At the end of the day, it's one of those things where if you ask me what I really think about Nathan Rourke, it's like, this guy's a good quarterback. And this is just a real off night for him, and he's just going to have to get going. But it's one of those things where it's a thumbnail. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. I'm having a lot of fun with my Bombers. We're back, baby. They thought they had us down in the ground. They thought they had us down. They don't. They don't have us down. The West is still ours. It is time to reclaim that and get back to first in the West. I believe this Bomber team can do it. We've got a game against Hamilton next week, and I swear to God, if we can't beat Chris Jones' defense, as Mark Washington fired from the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Chris Jones in that defense. Oh, I want to run over this team. So, is what it is. I hope you guys take care. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And, peace, love, and positivity to all of you guys. See you guys next time.